Hey y'all, it's Jen. Welcome back. I am going to reveal to you my 2024 planning system. And I am for the first time using my phone to film this using a um, holder that I got for Christmas. So I'm kind of doing this blind. I'm hoping that everything stays in frame. If not, it kind of goes along with my perfectly imperfect theme of this channel. So let's get started. I have given a lot of thought to what I want and need in this planning system. Now, this probably looks like a lot of stuff. However, everything does have a purpose, and I will go through each one of these to tell you what the purpose is and if they are something that I will be in every day, once a week, that type of thing. So let's move this over to the side and we'll start with this. This is going to be my daily ride or die. This is a 2024 Sterling Ink Common Planner in the Traveler's Notebook standard size. I fell in love with this size when I saw it, and I definitely loved the forest green cover that had a gold imprint. I'm typically not a gold person, but for some reason this really caught my eye. So I snagged this up when I had the opportunity because Sterling Ink's supplies go out pretty quickly usually. So I'm glad I got this. I did get this Moterm cover from Amazon. It had some traveler's notebooks, the traditional kind that, goes into each one of these. There was a few of those as part of it, but I didn't want to do that. My plan is to use this not only as my planner cover, but also as my wallet. I'm going to put like the most important things here. I can use this for cash and I can use this for coins. I haven't set that part of it up yet. I plan to do that sometime today. And then here's another slot for some more things. I got a couple of cloth and paper magnetic Ollie type clips. I don't know what they call them, but everybody knows the Ollie brand clips. I got a set that had 2 of these in there, and it happened to match the cover perfectly. So I use this to keep my weekly page marked in here. So I'm not going to do a whole flip through of the planner. If you want, you can take a look at Sterling Ink's page because they do have flip through of the whole planner, but I did set up a little bit with some important things. Now this planner is going to be used, like I said, my everyday carry, ride or die. Everything's going to go in here no matter what it fits under. Work, school, volunteer work, that type of thing. So it's got plenty of places to do all of the planning that I need to do. There's some quarterly goal pages that I'm not going to use this as it was intended. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it, but I don't think I'm going to use it to actually break down goals. I'll figure out something else to do with it. They also separate these into quarters so that you can write down priorities, that type of thing. So I'll probably use this for some of the priorities I'm going to have for each quarter. But this side of it, where it has the months separated out and there's like 7 lines, I'm going to use this to track some of the things that I'm going to be tracking. It's mostly health-related things, a couple of self-care type things, and financial, but these are 7 things that I want to track on the daily for sure. So I will set up each of these quarters the same way. And then this planner actually started in December, or at least the monthly part did. So I set that up So it's got all kinds of nice pages. It comes very, very light. So very, very minimal. If you don't like the way, for instance, a Hobonichi set up where it has certain colors for certain months, this might be more your style. So I went ahead and at least labeled all of my months. I haven't gone through to put any of the important dates in it, but I'm going to be using the monthly for appointments, events, that type of thing in this stuff that I will, need to know on the go. And then I did get some of the small tabs from the Coffee Monsters Co. that she designs things that tend to work with Hobonichi size things, but I know that it works in here. So this is what the weekly page looks like. I got the horizontal this time. I've planned in both vertical and horizontal, and I wanted to do horizontal for this particular planner because I think it's going to suit my needs better. But so far I've got it down to where this is going to be a page for notes of things that I either need to do for the day or that I did for the day. Kind of tracking some things. I'm going to track my food a little bit better, and then I've got a running task list. And this is how the weeklies is going to look for the most part, at least for right now. If I find that this is not working for me, the good thing is when you go to the next pages, you can figure it out. And if for some reason I really want to go back to a vertical style, just like in the Hobonichi weeks, if you want, you can turn it sideways and plan that way. I'm not sure if I would want to do it that way because I'd have to redate. I'd have to make, for instance, this would be the 8th and then this would be the 14th. Not sure if I want to do all of that, but I'm a never say never kind of person. So, and then this has weekly pages all the way to the first week of January 2025. And then this is the compact version of the Common Planner. So it only comes with 121 note pages. So this is just going to be various things that I'll use for it. I've started an index. I'm going to start keeping my grocery lists on the weekly. In this part, I'll probably make pages for like online orders. I also might just turn to the next blank page and start making notes if I happen to be somewhere where I need to make notes and I don't have any of my note-taking things with me for whatever reason. So I'm pretty sure that these pages will get used to the end. So, and then this beautiful cover also has some another extra pocket back here, some slots, that type of thing. I did put a plastic cover on this because I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to get a cover like this for it or not, so I wanted to make sure it was protected. So anyway, this is going to be something I carry in my bag every day with me. Also has a pen loop. Haven't decided quite yet what pen I want to carry with this. Pens I'll probably do a totally separate video on because I just put my toe into the water of fountain pens and I got a sampler set from Jet Pens that I've been trying out, and so I'll probably do a video about that at some point. Okay, so that's going to be carried with me every day. Okay. The other thing that I'm going to carry with me every day is also another Sterling Ink product. This is a notebook. This is the, how many pages is this one? I think this is it's 265 or something like that. The intention for this is I found that for my planning system, I did best when I had a notebook carried around with me. So that if I wanted to, make notes at work or just brainstorm something, I started it out as a brainstorming. This is the second one I did for the year. It seemed to last about 6 months. So I put a lot of different types of things in here. This is going to sound strange, but I liked it when I set some of the pages up. I also liked when I just opened to a page and just started writing. The fact is that I don't get all bent out of shape if this looks messy, because I think for me, having a notebook that I don't have to worry about if it's pretty or not, it makes a difference for me. That way I know for sure that I have somewhere that I can, if I've got something I need to get out of my head on a piece of paper, that I have this with me. So, but as you can see, I did take the time to decorate some of the pages. I just don't want to feel like I have to. For the last couple of months of 2023, I did use this as my main planner. So I had weekly spreads just about every week in here. So anyway, with that being said, I decided that I wanted to do that again. So Sterling Ink products have a thinner type paper similar to Tomoe River or Tomo River. One of these days I'll figure out what that pronunciation really is. But it's a thinner paper. Reminds you a lot of a Stalogy notebook, which is similar to that. But I wanted to see what the Sterling Ink product was like. So this is going to be made into another brainstorm notebook that'll go with me on the daily. It'll contain probably a huge variety of everything. It'll probably have, you know, work things, personal things, whatever. Just whatever I need to get out of my head, I'll probably put in here. And I haven't quite set this up yet. That's probably on my to-do list for tomorrow. Tomorrow is January 1st, and I don't have to go into the office. So I'm going to take advantage of, you know, setting things up for work. So these two things together will go in my bag every day. All right. And then the rest of these things are going to stay at home. This first thing here, this is a Stalogy notebook. I wanted to do a commonplace journal where if I come across things like spiritual insights, quotes on leadership, self-improvement things, you know, anything that I happen to read in like a newsletter or see on a YouTube, that type of thing, I wanted a place to put it. So I decorated it with I had some name stickers that were made by a small Etsy shop, and I cannot remember her name at the moment. I'll link it in the description when I find it. But my husband ordered a Princess Bride t-shirt, and these stickers came in it, and he goes, I know just the person to give this to. So he gave it to me. So it just has a you know, a plain plastic cover on it. It really doesn't need it, but I had an extra one, so I decided to use it. But it contains things. I already started it. It started it in October, but it's got things like quotes. I put in some spiritual things, Bible study type things in it. I used some washi just for the heck of it, kind of to use up some washi I have, but also just because I like the way it looks. And it does kind of chunk up the pages a little bit. This is only, what, 2 or 3 months, and it's a little bit chunky. So by the time I'm in the end of this particular notebook, it's going to be good and chunky. But this, like I said, this stays home, so I won't be carrying this around anywhere. And then I plan to, at some point, going through these categories here and maybe assigning them like a colored dot, and then I can go through and put a colored dot next to the item that fits in the category. That's a future gen problem, so I'm not too worried about it yet. But I enjoy writing in this every day, even if it's just, you know, just a few notes on various things. There's recipes in here. I enjoy this book very much. So it's also been a good place for me to test out some of the new fountain pens that I got. So Commonplace Notebook stays here at home. The next notebook we have, this is just one of those dot grid journals that you get at, I think I got this at Michael's. I think it's Artist Loft is the brand. Very, very simple. But I wanted a notebook dedicated just to my volunteer organization that I work with. It's a professional organization, and I'm involved on the local, state, and national levels in different ways. So I made a notebook for that purpose. I wanted to keep things together. This is going to be a mix of information, history type things, and also kind of a scrapbook sort of way. So it does have, you know, a table of contents that I'll probably do. I've put down some relevant things that I need. I'm also kind of doing it a little bit as memory keeping. We had our national conference in Orlando back in September. So I put in some photos and kind of a little journal blog of things that we did and that sort of thing. Then some local events that we did. Notes from committee meetings that I'm doing, that type of thing. But having it all together in one place works for me. So this is a book that stays in the house. I most likely will transfer, if I happen to be working on this subject, I might be working on it in my notebook that I carry around with me every day, my brainstorming notebook, and then transfer ideas into here. That's what I've done so far, because I don't want this to be too messy. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I just don't want this to be too messy, I guess. And if I give myself permission to be messy in the other notebook, then I'm okay with that. So, volunteer notebook stays in the house. And I dipped my toes into the water of the Hobonichi world. So this is a Hobonichi Techo cousin. Shout out though to my husband who bought me this Moterm cover. It definitely helps if you give your husband a link to the exact thing that you want, exact color, etc. He bought me just what I wanted. So, but it's a great cover. So like I said, first time in a Hobonichi. This is going to be a planner that I'm going to reinforce a lot of my memory things with. In other words, you'll probably see a lot of duplication between my Sterling Ink Common Planner and putting things in here. Some of it's going to be just recording for historical reasons. Other reasons is I find that if I write down things more than one time, I have a better chance of remembering. So if I write it down in my Sterling Ink and I do things in my Hobonichi, then that works well. Still deciding what to do with certain pages. On this part, I watched Planner Annie's 60 Ways to Use a Hobonichi Cousin, and I've gotten some great ideas and put some on a sticker, sticky notes to kind of make up my mind how I want to use it. For now, it's going to just stay like this, but the monthly section, Hobonichis, start in December. I did get some monthly kits from the Coffee Monsters Co. to do that type of thing. So those of you that are Hobonichi people have seen this a zillion times, so I won't go through that. So this is probably going to be more like it'll keep track of events. I might put down, for instance, if I'm going to, you know, get a little deeper into scripture, I might put down the scripture of the day. I might put down a thought of the day or a word of the day. I might doodle something. I'm not going to make too much of a rule for this just yet. So I am going to use the vertical weekly section to track a lot of things. Like I'm going to, have a running to-do list, but I want to track things, and I've started to put this together, and I haven't quite finished it yet. I want to track my steps, sleep, how much protein I take a day, and how much water. So this is obviously more health oriented goals. So, but it's also a way for me to kind of write out even just some short things about what happened during the day. Went for a walk, saw, squirrels in the trees, those types of things. Just some things just to jog your memory. I might, print out photos to put here. I kind of doubt it, because for me, this space is small. I think I'm going to save printing out photo type things for the daily part of the cousin. But so that's what this looks like so far. And then, of course, more tabs from Coffee Monsters Co. to mark my daily sections here. There's some pages here that are blank. Going to do a word of the year. Don't even know what it is yet. It's currently December 31st at 4:26 p.m. when I'm recording this. So still haven't made that decision. May not even decide one. Who knows? Or I may decide it next week. I'm not going to stress over it. I don't want to make this so much of a priority, because it's really more of a trend than anything else. I like it when people do it, and I think if you ask people that pick a word of the year, and they ask them at the end of the year, well, how did your word serve you this year? They might tell you, yeah, it helped some or whatever, or, oh yes, it gave me all kinds of good direction. So I think it just depends on what kind of weight you give for it. So I may or may not do this. I do want to write out my intentions for 2024. Don't want to call them goals necessarily. But I do want to put down in writing what I'd like to do to cover for this year. And then I already started decorating for tomorrow, January 1st. So this is kind of what it's gonna start out as. I'm gonna use this as maybe some other, the tasks that I want to do just today, January 1st. And then do some, maybe a journal prompt. Just write this, make this a true journal. I can even add pictures much easier here. This page is going to probably go back and forth between being filled with words or filled with letters or letters, filled with images or stickers or something. But my goal is to try to not have a whole lot of white space no matter what. And if it takes me going back to back plan a little bit to fill things up, I'm okay with that. There's no rule in the planner universe that says you can't go back and add things after the day is already done. There's just, the rules are, there ain't no rules, okay? So I'm planning to use the space to remember things, to write down maybe thoughts or feelings or whatever. So you may or may not see the content of these pages. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not gonna, say yes or no, whatever. So I saw on a video yesterday that or maybe it was a Facebook group. Someone said that they took one of the blank pages in there's only like 3 or 4 blank pages in the back of a cousin. They took one of them and they wrote a letter to themselves and they wrote it as if things had already happened. So for instance, it would be, hi Jen, 24, now that 20, now that 20, ugh, man, I can't even talk. Now that 2024 is done, I don't know. I'm just kind of, free balling it here, and it's it's not quite working. But they wrote a letter to themselves, as if things had already happened. Like, you did really well, making all A's this semester, or the last 2 semesters, and you'll be graduating in 2025. These are things I'm thinking of for myself. You got a nice raise at work, and you've used it in such a meaningful way. You've been married to your husband now for 7 years. That kind of thing. All of these things. These are things that, kind of a prediction page or a prophetic page or whatever. The things that you want to see happen in 2024, write in a letter to yourself. It's a good idea. I might give it a try. We'll probably write it in something that I don't mind being messy, because I'll probably cross it out a bunch before I actually do it. But if I get something, fairly decent, then I'll put it here. And then all of the extra pages here in the back for things, I may or may not use them the way it's intended. I may find total new things to do with it. I know a lot of people use this My 100 page to do like 100 media things consumed, like books read, TV shows watched, movies seen, that type of thing. I don't know if I'll use it for that necessarily, but that's one of the things that people have shown. Interview with myself, I do plan to do that. There's some interesting things in the back of these. I definitely won't be using most of these back pages if I'm 100% honest about that. But they're there. If I do get a wild hair and I want to, then they're there. But I'm definitely not gonna commit to doing it. So, but this is a planner that is going to stay here at the house, so I don't have to worry about the how personal the content is in there. Now, before we go to the last one, you probably are wondering, where's your Hobonichi Weeks that you bought, the very first Hobonichi thing you bought. So I have been using it as, and I don't have it handy, I think it's in my handbag in the kitchen, but had been using it kind of as a supplement, weekly planner, taking it with me in my bag, that type of thing. I did use it for the whole month of December, as my weekly spread. I used some of the notes pages, that kind of thing. I had originally thought that I would have that particular planner as just something for my health. I may still do that, but I see that I'm tracking a lot of health things here, and I'm also tracking some things in my daily. So would that be too much overkill? I don't know. I mean, it would be nice to kind of have all of the health and wellness things in one place. If I start taking vital signs, blood sugars, blood pressures, weights, that sort of thing, having it in one place, so that if I go, to a doctor's appointment, that I can show my provider, this is what's been going on, food-wise, weight, blood sugars, those types of things. So that's still a possibility, but I just didn't want to include it in this video because I'm not 100% sure that it's going to be in there. It's very possible that the weeks may make an appearance again in 2024. It might just be like a special guest star, like on a series or something. But for now, it's not part of the stack. And then finally, the only planner that's not bound, it's disbound, it's not book bound, is going to be my budget planner. This is definitely staying at home. What I'm using for my budget planner is I bought this is Happy Planner classic size Happy Planner. So it's got the 9 discs and not the 11. I bought inserts from the Organized Money, and it's a full budget planner that you can use to help track your expenses. You can even develop money routines, gives you an opportunity to look at goals, financial goals, helps you track things like what your bills and subscriptions, your yearly finance overview, debt reduction. If you want to use the snowball method to get your debt down, here's a place where you can do it. And here's a place where you can record your yearly savings. Like you can write down what you got in there, and then at the end of January, you can write down how much savings you have there into February, into March, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then by the end of the year, you'll see how much savings that you have. Hopefully, this number is going to be way, way bigger than this number. And then it's got savings trackers where you can put down specific things that you want to save for and put down deposits, that sort of thing. There's 1, 2, 3 of those. She also has savings jars, which Elena is very creative with this. So you can make these like sinking funds or however you want to do it, but it gives you a visual. You can start with whatever your starting balance is down here, and then color in as you go up. I did something like this in last year's budget planner, and I liked seeing the visual of things going up. That really helped. So I think there's 4 of these. Oh, there's 5. Okay, so you can have it for 5 different things. So she also added some things that I may or may not use, like a gift list for people in your family. And the best part about this system is it's undated. So you could start any time with this system. She does sell all 12 months together, but I already had 3 months, so I just went ahead and got an additional 3 months. So I've got 6 months worth here, and then at some point I want to support her shop again, and I'll buy another 6 months. But this will start with January. Gives you a place where you can put down this month's goals. It's definitely going to be no spend January, or actually probably no spend or low spend year. So that'll be there. It's all, like I said, undated. I haven't set this up yet. That's on my plans for tomorrow. It helps you, gives you opportunities to set up your budget by the month. I didn't do the monthly part as much, mainly because I'm paid bi-weekly, and putting it in a month form threw me off sometimes. So I may try this again. I'm not real sure. But this is what I use every time. This is budgeting by paycheck, or paycheck budget. So it would be the date of my payday, put in the income, put down the bills that are coming out, variable expenses like gas, food, etc. here. Sinking funds you put here. Any extra debt payments would be here. And then you want to make sure that every dollar that you have has an assignment or a job, and you can do a $0 check down here. So this one page, every paycheck, has helped me do some amazing things with my money. So I'm really, really happy to be back in the system again. So there's plenty of pages to do paychecks, every month. And there's going to be some pages where, like for me, since I'm only paid bi-weekly, there's going to be some extra pages that I will probably put in a separate place, you know, or, you know, if I don't need to use it, then I don't. So there's an income tracker. So if you've got more than one stream of income, you can track it here. Right now I only have my 9-to-5 job, so I don't have anything extra to put here as of yet. And then you can check in with your budget, check your categories, how much you've spent and how much you have remaining. I'm going to have to look at her video to see how better to do this, because I'm not 100% sure how it's done. But then there's expense trackers. And this is what's going to come in handy. I'll probably do some on-the-fly expense tracking in my Sterling Common Planner, like when I'm out, or if I'm saving receipts, that type of thing. But, you know, we've got that for the month. And then there's a place to do some notes. And then it starts into the next month. So, this also happens to contain, I think I said about 6 months worth of this budget planner. So, so anyway, I got the inserts. I already had the discs. I have tons of Happy Planner type discs. So, and this is the black crock cover from the Organized Money's shop, Etsy shop. So I really, you know, wanted to keep this all together. So this is my system for this year. All of this fun stuff stays here at home. And then these two are going to go with me wherever I go in my bag. So that's it. If you liked what you saw, if you would please subscribe to the channel, I would be so happy if you would do that. I know a lot of people watch, but they don't subscribe. Not sure why. If you don't subscribe, tell me why you're not subscribing. Maybe it's something I'm doing. Maybe it's something I can change. Please be sure to hit the thumbs up if you like the content. Notification bell to let you know when I make more videos. And I hope to see you in the next one. Have a good day.